What a beautiful night north of the border in Toronto, Canada. Inserted Michaela Timpson into the starting lineup. They are 4-0. Tempo and loves the game as we are underway at Scotiabank Arena.
Kiki Rice with a defensive assignment on Caitlin Clark. And this is a play that Stephanie White scripted this morning to run off the first offensive set, hoping to get a back screen for Caitlin Clark, but get the foul called.
That's an early personal on Kiki Rice, the rookie and champion out of UCLA. Sandy Brondell just raved about. Clark will fire, can't hit. Weak side rebound, gobbled up by Yuskaita. Here's Mabry, draws two, kicks it out. Yuskaita fakes the three. Harrison will reverse it. Now it settles with Sykes. Sykes on the attack, the runner won't go, tipped around, Harrison can't finish, and Boston secures it for Indiana.
You saw right away the defensive attention that Mabry is going to get.
Clark, mid-range, off the mark. Been so good in the mid-range this season, first 2 years combined. Mabry, short as well, and Hull able to fingertip the rebound. Clark quickly ahead to Mitchell. Mitchell, 19 straight games of at least 20. One shy of Asia Wilson's record. Hull tips in. And
getting inside and then doing one more step to get under the defense to the rim.
Mabry can't flag it down to Clark. Played a season-high 41 minutes in the overtime win against Atlanta. Boston, what a look. Mitchell to lay on a beautiful play.
And a play that looked very similar to the first one, but instead of Caitlin Clark getting the handoff, which the defense.
Here's Rice in the corner, can't hit. Rebound tipped around, Rice able to save it. Mabry off the mark. Yuskaita has really been active on the glass, and the foul is called against Indiana.
Yuskaita got the first offensive board with Caitlin Clark trying to box her out, but unable to do so because of the size advantage, and then Yuskaita just...
Toronto has had a player mostly as a 4 this season. She plays as a perimeter player overseas, but the bigs for Toronto so thin, she's had to play in the post here as that last hits Timpson and will stay with Toronto. Tempo having success on the offensive glass through the first few possessions. They've needed to because they're 0 for 7 from the...
And you see Timpson on Rice. So this will be a place where offensively they can take advantage of the glass.
Sykes got fouled and will shoot 2. Foul called against Lexi Hull.
Hands or too much hands from Lexi Hull. It'd be hard to have too many hands.
Yeah, I don't know. Has anyone ever had 3?
Not in the W. I can't speak to the Guinness Book of World Records.
True. Sykes hits them both. Sold out crowd here at Scotiabank Arena. The first sellout here. Third time that Toronto is playing in this building. They have really drawn a lot of interest here in this city and this country. Look at Timpson, what a rebound and a putback.
You saw her just with her length, able to reach over Rice.
Knocked away by Boston, who was so active defensively against Atlanta on Sunday. Clark launches, can't hit. 0 for 3 from the start for Clark as Hull drops it out of bounds. Toronto basketball.
Michaela Timpson.
Talking to us before the game, was just raving about Timpson as a teammate and also her growth, her improvement. Caitlin was telling us she feels like she has a chance to be one of the best cutters in this league.
Cutters and finishers, yeah, the way she's learned how to move off the ball.
Steph White said her comp for Timpson right now is Aaron Gordon, NBA style with those cuts, and Timpson was telling us she hopes to get to Candace Parker level with her game as Mitchell lays it in off the delivery from Clark.
Clark just is able to lead Mitchell so beautifully on those back cuts.
Yuskaita sheds Clark, can't lay it in, and it's out of bounds off of Toronto.
Yuskaita shedded Clark by having her arm right in Caitlin Clark's neck.
Clark was looking for the offensive foul, did not get it. Here's Mitchell. Mitchell will pop. Doesn't get the roll. Morrow battling on the glass, and a foul is called against Anissa Morrow. And she battled for that rebound. Here's the handoff to Clark, turning the corner. Oh, what a move from Clark. Fading, taking, and dropping it in. Beautiful handle from Caitlin Clark.
I think that's the first time we've seen her with that like low baby dribble.
One of the things she's really worked on this season, that handle and her game inside the arc. Harrison meets Timpson, can't finish. Clark the rebound, looking ahead, fires to Hull. She'll take, and hit a long two from Lexi Hull, and that's where Indiana's so dangerous when they get out and run. And a timeout taken from Toronto. The Fever with an 8-point lead through the first 4 minutes of this one. Well, crowds throughout the season for Toronto at their own arena, CCC, now here at Scotiabank. And the buzz in this building, you could feel it from before the tip. But you could also feel walking around the city today for this game. How many people were wearing their gear and excited for the action tonight?
How many people recognized and took pictures with Holly Rowe?
Oh my goodness, she has a huge Canadian fan base. Izzy Harrison can't finish, and a shot clock violation. By the way, it's not quite Atlanta levels, but it's hot in here. And Caitlin Clark was just motioning that to us as well. Atlanta on Sunday was the warmest arena I think I've ever been in, but it's warm in here too.
Yeah, it's like LSU during the college season sometimes.
Oh yeah.
We're there.
Boston finds Clark. Clark with some space will drive it, gets fouled, and Clark is going to shoot two. Something we've seen all season. Clark averaging 6.5 free throw attempts per game. Taking a look at the upcoming WNBA Network, Minnesota Golden State, another great game. Thursday, prime doubleheader, Indy and Dallas. The WNBA app. This games, please go to WNBA.com or visit the WNBA app. Timpson flags down the rebound. Clark, and clock needed to reset. Clark hits the three after the whistle. Indiana on a 7-0 run. Clark 3 points, 2 assists. Mitchell already with 4 points. Here's Mitchell with the space and the hit from three. Kelsey Mitchell already with the longest single season streak of most consecutive games with at least 20 points, with 19 of them trying to match the connective streak as Mabry able to hit from deep. Cross court to Hull. Here's Mitchell. Mitchell into the paint. The reverse is good. 9 already for Kelsey Mitchell.
I love when Kelsey Mitchell starts her move just going around the world with the one leg. You know, doesn't dribble, just like around the one leg. She's assessing the defender and then gets a chance to go by.
Foul on Clark, trying to hang there with Yuskaita. The record for connected between two seasons, just to finish that thought, Asia Wilson with 20 games, you see it there. That was over a 2-season span. Sophie Cunningham checking in along with Monique Billings as Mabry misses that one. Morrow, the offensive rebound and the reverse. An elite rebounder, why Toronto acquired her at the deadline. We saw it in college versus DePaul and LSU. Too tall for Timpson. Mabry off the steal, bounces underneath. Sykes will lay it in as Clark had to be careful already with one foul. Clark backing away, Billings with a lot of space. Over to Timpson. Timpson's push shot is good. Timpson with 4 has hit her first 2 field goal attempts. Indiana +8 in the paint. Going baseline, the former member of the Fever, Temi Fagbenle, able to lay it in. Here's Clark turning the corner, gets denied. The follow is good from Billings. Quickly down the other end, Fagbenle lays it home, beating Indiana down the floor.
And Temi Fagbenle is at her best. She's a very good rim runner. We saw an example of it there.
Second game of a 5-game road trip for Indiana. Mitchell jitters, hops, can't finish, but a foul. And Kelsey Mitchell will go to the line to shoot 2. And we mentioned this stat for Mitchell last game, and it's just been ridiculous documenting the history that Kelsey Mitchell and Caitlin Clark have been making on a nightly basis. But Mitchell already, she's done over the last 19 games, just incredible efficiency and production as we check in with Holly for a little more on Kelsey.
Well, she's producing on the court, but more importantly, producing off the court, studying for her PA. Weeks ago that she had several papers due, so she's on this long road trip. She's doing papers for a PhD, and she's playing at this high level. It's absolutely insane what Kelsey Mitchell has on her plate and how she is thriving at all those assignments.
The ultimate multitasker turned it over there. Sights can't hit, and it will tilt out of bounds to Toronto. Ty Harris already in for Caitlin Clark. That's a little earlier than normal, and you wonder if Stephanie White will be a little more cautious with minutes in spots here tonight, with Indiana coming off an overtime game and a condensed schedule here on this 5-game road trip.
And also with a little bit of a cushion in terms of the score.
Yeah. Harris can't hit the 3. Went 5 for 5 2 games ago against Dallas. Ty Harris has given Indiana good minutes all season. Hines Allen able to knock it away. Here's Billings in transition. Billings Euros in, can't finish, lost it. Bag Bentley able to dig it up. Now Toronto looking to push. Morrow barges in and finishes. Busts the foul. A chance for 3 for Anissa Morrow.
Anissa Morrow at 6'1". We've already...
Morrow completes the 3-point play. This crowd is loud.
Yeah.
A very engaged tempo crowd here at Scotiabank Arena. And one of the things Sandy Brondello was praising to us before the game was the ownership for this franchise has just loved it. As Mitchell rings in another. How about Kelsey Mitchell? 14 already in the first. Rice works away from the trap. Will take. Can't hit the mid-range. Morrow got a hand on it, nothing more, out of bounds to Indiana.
The blitz came to Kiki Rice, and then she was there.
Here's Cunningham. Hearing the boos as she touches it, gets fouled by Nurse, and Indiana in the bonus, so free throws here for Sophie Cunningham. Indiana, the 9-point lead. Every game so critical right now in this playoff race when you just look at things are and it comes to seeding. The race to the playoffs is on. Stream live games from across the league. Scan the QR code and subscribe today for just $14.99 a month. Cunningham misses the second. 120. A reminder, first of 2 games on ESPN tonight. Atlanta, Vegas up next. That's another game, big-time playoff implications. Billings mistimed the jump. Indiana still comes down with it. Cunningham, a deep 3. You bet! Sophie Cunningham, efficient shooters from 3 this season, 45%. And the lead is 13 for Indiana. Billings off the steal. Harris pushing pace. Hines Allen motors in, gets called for the offensive foul.
What we're seeing on full display, one of the things that makes Indiana first here tonight, but when she is open like that, has been so efficient.
2 weeks ago when we called the Indiana-Minnesota game, that was something Cheryl Reeve highlighted to us. She said Indiana's bench, for as great as their starters are, they have a few players they get really good production from off the bench, and that's enough. As that last hits Indiana, will stay with Toronto. Now that time, Timpson had been coming off the bench, and then it was Ty Harris and Cunningham who Cheryl was referring to. Now you have Timpson in the starting lineup, but still Billings has done a nice job off the bench since she's moved there. Nurse knocks in the 3. Canada's own Kia Nurse. just a slight difference game shot clock. Mitchell, oh, what a move, Mitchell! My goodness, what a flip! After another beautiful ballet from Kelsey Mitchell. Rice flips it in off the window at the horn. Kelsey